Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Real Fan Man here. This is layout update number 32. Yeah, a few things to talk about since my last update. I guess this would be really an August-September update, number 32. I've been really busy with work and family. You know how it goes. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So we're going to get right into it. Put a latch up here to hold my lift up, drawbridge, whatever you want to call it. Because before I had one of those DeWalt clamps holding it up, and I decided, oh yeah, let's just use one of those. So I did that, and then don't mind the mess up here either. I'm working on our lamp. I got to replace the cord. Tried looking for one at Walmart today. They have it online, but it's whatever. I'm going to check Home Depot tomorrow. So I have an isolation switch right here for my second level bus wire. And the reason why I have an isolation switch is in case if I want to stage trains, that you'll see a couple in a minute, you know, for future operation videos and whatnot. And I'm operating down here, and these guys don't go taking off. So just a kind of fail-safe type deal. And I also have another one that I installed down here for the incline section. This section of the incline going up all the way over to, try not to move you around too quickly. Basically, I believe it's right there. So from this point on to the drawbridge is its own little section. So another fail-safe. I don't know if any of you remember quite a while back, and it's happened a few times. I've had some locomotives that were in not this particular engine yard, but anyways, they ended up taking off on me or just bolting when I was just operating another locomotive in the yard, and that prompted me to basically make tracks that are isolated. So like these 5 tracks right here are isolated tracks, which another thing I did, I got the toggle switches for these guys. So here's track 1 through 5, and track 1 starts right here, track 2, so on and so forth. So these are isolated as well. And I, you know, like I said, I just had this hanging off another board underneath. I'm like, you know what, I gotta get these things on before the cats start, you know, getting smart and tearing wires and whatnot. So put those in. I put one of my plates in here for the NCE power cab. I do have another one down here, which is connected, but when, you know, like once I get the fascia up and stuff, I'll be able to put that one in. So I figured I have one on each side of the layout. Let me back up here a little bit. So yeah, I'll have one on this side, and then I'll have that one over here. So, you know, if I get to that point where I can have maybe a couple of people over to operate, I got plenty of controllers, plenty of things to do, so on and so forth. So nothing really else on the first level, I don't think, except for this is kind of new. I'm playing with an idea of putting a road right here, which would basically be probably just Main Street, one road going down as of right now, and on a corner just like a auto shop. And then of course, you know, I have like all this area right here, which is probably going to be part of Big and Cement. That kind of comes through. So that's that for first level. So the second level, oh yeah, one more thing too. I made this drawer right here. So it's almost like I think it's a little less than 4 feet wide. It's about 23 inches deep or so, or actually it's 2 feet deep, and the rails right here are like 22 and a half. So it gives me plenty of room. I store my controllers in there, my ops stuff, or whatever I want right now. Bought a little handle for it. I painted it black after I put it together. Bada bing, bada boom. Slides in, tucks in nice. I'm almost thinking about doing something similar with these and getting rid of this at some point. It's a thought. I'm not sure. And how I connected this guy up is I just used some 1x3s, and let me see if I can get some light here. Hold on. Sorry about that. Stand by. This guy, there we go. So I basically, I don't know if you can see that. I just connected those 1x3s to the cross members there on the layout. Ran them down. Ran my rail right across, connected to this. And here you go, finished product. I like it. It's pretty nice and smooth, sturdy. But anyways, that was that. Got a couple of trains staged up here already. We got EDHC turn coming back. They are slated to head back to East Deerfield Yard, and then I have Springfield East Deerfield Yard train in line as well. I pretty much had them up over here, but I wanted to kind of move them out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. So essentially, this is southbound going this way, and northbound obviously going that way. So when I do like southbound operations in Deerfield, we first come up to, technically, because of space restrictions, obviously, this is going to be Pelican, which is a real industry in Deerfield. However, I don't think they're rail served anymore, but on my layout, they're going to be rail served. And here's the Corn Production Services, Deerfield, Mass, which is pretty much, it's after Pelican, but again, space restrictions. So you can see coming up, I have the siding coming on. This would be the main line right here. This is the siding. I got my, this is all code 83 track as well. I ended up getting some of these Pico, hold on, let me show you this, Pico transition track. Instead of getting the Atlas of the Walthers one, this came in a 4-pack. So, it basically goes from code 100 to code 83. Because I wanted to transition into code 83 track from here on out. Because down the road, when I build another layout, I'd like my industrial spurs to probably be code 70, I believe, would be the next level down. Correct me if I'm wrong. For HO scale, I know it's like code 100 and then code 83, but does it go down to code 70? If that's the case, then the industrial spurs would be like code 70. The main line or main tracks would be code 83. So we're doing code 83 from here on out. A little out of time because it's pretty expensive. So the code 83 switches. This is an older one that I had from a while back, which just happened to be the same ones I ordered. This was an extra one that I had ordered. However, I'm pretty sure I could use this on the other side. And yeah, so basically you got Pelican, CPS, Corn Production Services. This would be Harris Rebar. They take, I believe they take some sort of metal coming in, and then they basically do their thing and ship it out. And I said in my last video, I believe I used to work for a landscaping company, and Harris Rebar was one of our accounts. And I'm going to extend this track out a little bit more because I figure most of this area, I'll probably come out to here maybe. Maybe even to here. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Still on debate. And I'm in the process of grading these industrial spurs. Like I still have CPSs industrial spur to do. Obviously, I don't have to do this one because the siding's set down already, but I do have to do the siding switches, which ends over here. And I got enough room just for one locomotive, so for right now, you know, I can just run a locomotive around the train or whatever, so on and so forth when I'm doing ops. So here's the truss I've had for a while. I have to do some repair work on it. Some of these girders or these pieces that go on, like this piece right here, popped off. You know, it's been sitting around. Like you can see this right here, this cross member. It's a little loose. Nothing a little glue can't help, you know. So my plan was, and this is still a thought. Actually, let me put this down. This guy down. There you go. So that guy goes down. My thought was to have this span this area right here. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of like that. So, there, I can move my arm. There we go. So something like that. You know, obviously it would be level. I would probably do some little build, like wood build maybe, so I could put some plexiglass on the sides and maybe do a small little river scene. I don't know. We'll see. That's a work in progress too. That might be a winter project. And over here, you're going to be, once you cross this bridge, we'll say, you're going to be coming into Hatfield, Mass. And again, excuse the mess. It's kind of a storage shelf now, kind of, you know. In this corner over here, I'm planning on having C&S Wholesale Grocers. So they basically, it's a grocers. They ship out food. It's a food distributor or whatever you want to call it. And they do get rail served, so that'll be, you know, box cars and probably refrigerator cars, all that fun stuff. A little ways down the track, when it's there, we're gonna have Turf Care, and that is a fertilizer plant. They deal with fertilizer and salt, so they get covered hoppers, 2 bay, 3 bay, and I believe 4 bay. And then down the way, probably starting over here somewhere, will be Sullivan. We'll be getting into Holyoke, Mass, which is farther down south. And I'm thinking in this corner I might put Sullivan Scrap, which is in Holyoke, Mass again. And maybe a couple small transfer tracks right here, because they do have a small transfer yard, interchange yard with Pioneer Valley Railroad. And then probably the last leg of the layout part anyways, because it still continues south down to Lake Springfield and so on and so forth. But obviously, again, you know, room restrictions. I'm going to have a company that's like basically like a half a mile from where I live. It's called Solinus, and they do something to do with chemicals, but they receive tank cars. And in my last video, I did say it was a trailing spur. So if you're going south, you know, you're headed southbound or whatever, it is a trailing spur. So it would basically, you know, I'd have to pull in, back in, pull out, drop the empty off, pull up, drop or spot the loaded car, and then I would have to do a runaround, so on and so forth, if I'm, you know, headed back north to East Deerfield Yard. But anyways, again, space restrictions, so on and so forth. They have to do that anyways, I think. I actually saw them doing some switching a couple weeks ago. I went out, I heard the train horn, and I just went out. I got some video I got to post up as well. It was a rainy night. It was cool though. I caught them actually all the way to the transfer yard, and I got some pictures of the BERX locomotives going across the track, getting ready to do a runaround at that transfer yard. So, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much about it. I don't want to spend too much time boring anybody, you know. I do have some operations coming up. I have a couple of videos lined up, ready to roll. I will be posting one of them next weekend. By the time you see this, it'll be tomorrow, Sunday, which will be today, Sunday, right? Because it's Saturday now. It'll be tomorrow when I post this, which is Sunday, the 21st. So, however, next weekend I'll have a video, operations video, and the weekend after that I should have another operations video. And yeah, we're moving along. I'm picking at it when I can, I'm getting things done. So, you know, thoughts, suggestions, comments, constructive criticism, whatever. It's all good. This is the power for 22K. That's on, it'll be, well, by the time you see that, it's going to be fall, probably almost Halloween, who knows. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I appreciate all you guys and my current subscribers. I'm trying to watch a few videos here and there to keep up. Still, you know, obviously I'm never going to catch up with people's videos, but you know, try to do my part and drop a comment. At least I hit the like button, you know. So, but thank you everybody again for stopping by. I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend and upcoming work week. And yeah, all that fun stuff. Stay safe. Happy modeling. Real Fan Man. Signing out.